You're a suit without a soul, a troll, trying to sell us Illuminati, population control. Meteor Sensor has me on mute as they sell the masses a story that is cute. The criminal elite drilling for oil, then shooting their rusty load, coming out of our family's kitchen faucets, freaking fracking, corporate weenie whacking. Monsanto, hell no, yo. Your poison seed is a disease and won't grow. It's even in Gerber baby food. And we the people are now in the know. We the people are now in the know. We the people are now in the know. Engineering our food with genetics is like outlawing health and organics. Propaganda mine, poison food. Greedy, guilty, vomiting. Propaganda mine, poison food. Senator puppet, corporate troll, innocent blood, population control. Senator puppet, corporate troll, innocent blood, population control. Say this with me. Hell no, Monsanto! Hell no, Monsanto! Let's ban your GMO! Let's ban your GMO! Hell no, Monsanto! Hell no, Monsanto! Let's ban your GMO! Let's ban your GMO!
We want the world to know that the company trying to dominate the global food supply and tell you that GMOs are safe to eat are nothing more than murderers who should be tried and convicted.
And as it relates to GMOs, the first and easiest thing to do is avoid them. Don't buy them. Don't consume them. You go. Also, go into the stores and label them yourself. If they won't label them, we'll label them. And we can connect on a local level with community-supported agriculture, community gardens, seed banks, seed bomb events, and so on. But perhaps the most fundamental thing we can do is to take back the right to grow our own food. And we can do this in window boxes, fire escapes, rooftops, backyards, and if you have one, lawns. Imagine if every lawn was instead a vegetable garden. Let me ask a question. How many vegans do we have here today? Make some noise if you're a vegan. Get loud if you're a vegan. Now, that's not bad for a bunch of protein-deficient, annoying, self-righteous militants. I'm impressed. Hello, Kenny. Well, here's the reality. Roughly 95% of, depending on the grain, of grains grown in America are genetically modified. The vast majority of those grains aren't fed to humans. They're fed to doomed animals, which are then murdered for so-called food to be fed back to humans. And guess what? That food is also not labeled genetically modified. Whatever your personal issue is, go for it. We need as many activists as possible, but none of it matters unless the ecosystem is functioning, and that's where we can unite. We must make these big connections. We can't just focus on one corporation. We could look at the other corporations that are killing the ecosystem via the food industry. There are far too many to name, but there could be Cargill, Tyson, Smithfield, KFC, Nestle's, McDonald's, and so on. So we must bring down Monsanto, but we can't forget all the other corporations. Either you're working to preserve the future, or you're not. So ask yourself, which side am I on? Because we need a planet with far fewer reasons to grieve and far more reasons to celebrate. And the good news is that there is a growing celebration meeting right here at the corner of empathy and anger. And what we're planning is nothing short of a global jailbreak. So join us. And remember these words, ask not what your ecosystem can do for you. Ask what you can do for your ecosystem.
In this city, 1/5 of you will go to bed hungry tonight. 1/8 of you will go to bed without a bed to sleep in. You'll be sleeping on the street. You only have to go a block or two down to see folks that are going to be sleeping on the street tonight. Every single day with Food Not Bombs, we collect food that would normally end up in the trash. This is perfectly good food, bananas with a little speck on them, or day-old bread, things that you would have no problem purchasing from this Whole Foods right over here, but they'll throw it out anyway. And we rescue just a very small portion of it, and we're able to feed thousands of people every single day. I do not exaggerate this number. You see, we all live here in New York City, and I'm willing to bet most of you here struggle to pay the bills, struggle to pay the rent, struggle to pay for groceries for your family or heating oil for your kids to stay warm, and we're all in the same boat together. You see, we all struggle every single day to make ends meet. We struggle by taking on 2 jobs or 3 jobs. We struggle by not having time to spend with our kids or our neighbors or our family. We don't get to pay attention to the elderly couple down the road that needs a helping hand, or the child that could really use some after-school help. We're distracted.
I do not consent to this search. 1, 2, 3. If you have a mask today, very quickly, first of all, they may arrest you, and you should know that, and you should attempt to request that they ask you to take the mask off first.
You might remember, next time a policeman tries to tell you that, it's called breaking into public space, amen? Breaking into public space, amen?
We want to make our voices heard to the following. Let them hear this. Protect our food supplies. And consumer rights. Label GMO. Or ban GMO. Protect our local farming industry. Expose and stop cronyism. I can never pronounce the word. Between big business and the government. Get money out of politics. Bring accountability to those responsible for the corruption. And stop Trans-Pacific Partnership, aka TPP. We are March Against Monsanto New York City. We aim to connect and educate and mobilize. So corporate injustice can be exposed.